Bitcoin fixes everything. And so if we think about what that means, Bitcoin fixes everything, and we need to be prepared for Bitcoin to infuse everything. The SEC, the CFTC engaged in bringing exchanges into compliance. This year, Bitcoin is up 75%, and the futures ETFs are up 45%. So futures ETFs aren't really tracking Bitcoin right now. What happens when you have a pension fund or a union or a university endowment?
Hello and welcome to Money Talks. In this video, we'll dive deep into the captivating world of the crypto market and uncover the latest news in Bitcoin, dollarization, and investments. Get ready to stay informed and make smarter financial decisions. Now let's begin our enlightening discussion with Michael Saylor.
I think it's pretty clear that there is support for Bitcoin in both parties, in the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, and at the White House level. And I think there's obviously has been universal support for Bitcoin across the crypto ecosystem. And the regulatory developments of the past 6 months, if anything, they've increased uncertainty around everything else in crypto. The crypto exchanges, the cryptocurrencies that are stable coins, the crypto securities, the crypto tokens, the crypto exchanges and DeFi networks. The uncertainty there is still there, if not greater, but they've increased the certainty around Bitcoin. All of the companies, the large financial companies filing for a spot ETF, companies, all the Bitcoin miners continuing to operate with the end of the tunnel clearly in view. If it's not happening by the end of the year, it's happening within 12 months. You have a challenge. I can't buy a spot ETF. You have a solution. You have a host of spot ETF applications that are in version 3, right? People have been trying to do it. We must be on version 4 or version 5 iteration.
Yeah.
But you have version 5 that are much more compelling than the previous version, and you have a lot of political pressure and sentiment and conviction to support it. And that is a solution, right? You have a challenge. We need a digital assets exchange to be transparent and regulated. You have a solution, surveillance agreements. Coinbase has already agreed to a surveillance agreement publicly with half a dozen or more of these ETF filers. You have a process. The SEC, the CFTC engaged in bringing exchanges into compliance. So you have all these challenges to action. You have all of these solutions in play. It's really just a matter of which quarter, how many quarters does it take before we put all the solutions in play. When there is a futures-based ETF that is currently trading on futures data, and a year ago, you might have made the argument that a technical argument, well, the futures is good enough and it trades on the CME and it's good enough. And we like our surveillance agreement with the CME better. You could have made that argument. The difference between today and a year ago is that this year, Bitcoin is up 75% and the futures ETFs are up 45%. So this year, what's happened is the futures have disconnected with the underlying index. So futures ETFs aren't really tracking Bitcoin right now. In fact, they're kind of destroying in the range of 10 to 20% of your capital a year. So that being the case, it's clear to any quantitative analyst or investor that futures ETFs don't provide an on-ramp for a reasonable investor without serious wealth destruction. And so I couldn't in good conscience recommend that you use a futures ETF when I know it's going to cost you 10 to 20% of your capital every year for no reason, other than the fact that the futures market isn't, the strategy of using futures isn't an effective way to track the spot Bitcoin price. It just isn't working.
Don't forget to join us as we continue to explore the unfolding events. What's happening in the crypto market? Let's take a quick look at some recent developments. Then we turn back to Michael Saylor. US ETFs signal renewed Bitcoin interest. BTC's limited hot supply eyes. Bull market. Bitcoin's historic surge. Record 682,281 transactions in a day. Mark 2023 as year increased activity. Valkyrie moves to convert BTF into dual Bitcoin. Ethereum ETF. SHIB price climbs 20% as Shibarium launch nears. Coinbase battles US SEC. WorldCoin concerns mount. FTX announces reorganization plans. U.S. court dismisses former Celsius Network CEO's motion to block New York Attorney General's lawsuit. Artificial intelligence (AI) tools are now more potent and readily available as they evolve, causing disruption in various industries and adding value. While WorldCoin sees a 148% surge in unique addresses, the top 20 wallets command 94% of WLD supply.
Now the question is, well, what happens when you have a pension fund or a union or a university endowment? Well, as those things happen, you're going to have other types of custodians. And then what happens if a country wants to back its treasury or put Bitcoin into its treasury? Well, countries are not going to let the Secretary of the Treasury hold the keys on behalf of 50 million people. So I think the right way to think of it is Bitcoin is going to be a base layer, and there's going to be layer 2s like Lightning to move things fast, but there's going to be layer 3s that are custodial, like Cash App, like Coinbase, like Fidelity, like JP Morgan, like Bank of America, like Apple, like Google. They're going to be custodial layer 3s, and they're going to exist either to provide functionality, like do we want 1 billion people on Apple iPhones to be able to move Bitcoin instantly from the iPhone using the Apple iOS? And the answer is probably yeah. So there are going to be technical reasons to trust a third party. There are going to be political reasons, like the mayor of New York is the mayor of New York, and we put someone in charge of New York. So when New York wants to hold Bitcoin, you're going to have New York as a custodian, New York City. So there's a political reason. Unless you get rid of New York City, and I don't think California or New York City or the United States or Iceland as a country, I don't think they're going away this decade. So I think there are going to be political distinctions that cause the need for custodians. Then I think there are also going to be other sorts of natural reasons, like I have Alzheimer's and I'm 85 years old, and who can I trust? Or I want to leave it to my unborn grandchild in a trust. Okay, how do I do that? And so I think the best way to think about Bitcoin is Bitcoin offers sovereignty and integrity and empowerment, not just to the individual, but also to the family, the clan, the village, the city, the county, the state, the province, the country, the company, the institution, the agency, right? The group, the community organization. Every one of those entities, they all have their own agency, and we don't want them to not have access to this.
And that concludes an insightful episode of Money Talks. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing. Happy